Conmebol World Cup qualifiers saw history, upsets, and maybe a debutant at the next World Cup. Those are all the things that we're going to discuss in World Cup qualifiers Conmebol edition for October. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. We cover Conmebol World Cup qualifiers. Hit the like button, and all returning subscribers, you guys know what to do. You do your job, and we get into the video right now. Not going to be a very long video today, people. So let's just kind of break it down. You know, Colombia, Uruguay 2-2 in a game where Colombia looked like the better team. Uruguay did have, you know, the thing for Uruguay is away from home, you're not going to really see that Bielsa ball. I think they're going to be a bit more pragmatic, especially we saw it away in Ecuador, we saw it away in Colombia, but it's just the difficulty of Conmebol World Cup qualifiers. But coming away with the draw, Darwin not playing his greatest game. And why is it always that James Rodriguez, even at his age, and he's at the twilight of his career, still scored against Uruguay? This guy loves a goal against Uruguay. But I think, judging by the results, and I cannot watch any of the games live, people, because they were all way too late for me here in Finland. I think, judging by the highlights, Colombia did create the better of the chances and maybe deserve the win. But if you're going to give stupid pens, that's exactly what happened. And Uruguay come away with a draw. And I think they'll be happy with it. And for Colombia, it's 3 missed points, in my opinion. And Bolivia, Ecuador, we saw history, people. We saw history. Kendry Paez. How many times have I told you guys about this kid? Because remember, he's a damn kid. And he actually scored his first ever national team goal for Ecuador, becoming the youngest goal scorer in Conmebol World Cup qualifiers history. And think about this continent and all of the historic players that have emerged from Latin America. And he is the youngest. And I'm telling you right now, he is going to be a superstar. I've seen enough. I'm like, you know what? This kid is the real deal. Gets the goal. Great pass from Moises Caicedo. Moises Caicedo involved in both goals. Unbelievable. But if I'm going to be honest, Bolivia did create a lot of, you know, half-decent chances. They did, you know, test Ramirez, the goalkeeper, who was obviously the goalkeeper of Independiente del Valle. We're going to talk about him a little bit later. But, you know, they got the goal, Ramallo. And then they just, that clearance that they didn't convert. Oh, defensively, Bolivia on that last goal for Ecuador, shambles. How you don't clear the ball away in a very easy situation is beyond me. And Rodriguez, what a story for him. Obviously not playing at Royal Union Saint-Gilloise, getting a goal. You could just see how much it meant to him. And you could kind of say that Ecuador stole this game. I think a draw would have been more of a fair result. But Ecuador getting 3 points away, especially in the altitude, you always take it and go back to Quito if you're the Ecuador national team. And then the world champions, the Copa America champions, the best national team in the world, Argentina, 1-0 victory over Paraguay. Otamendi getting the goal, beautiful goal by Otamendi. And this was sort of, it's kind of just like routine at this point with Argentina. You know, they get the result, they get the win, and nobody has any discussions. We're not like, oh my God, panic stations, only 1-0 win over Paraguay. Obviously, Paraguay coming in with a new manager. And they did look a little bit better. They didn't look so defensively bad. But again, they didn't score a goal. But that would change on the next match day for Paraguay. So you could see there's a little bit of improvements there. For Argentina, like, do we have any criticism of this team, people? I have no criticism. Midfield is on lock. Defensively on lock. Attacking-wise, they have options. They're just so complete. It's just, to think how Argentina were like from 2014 to 2018. You know, okay, they made it to the Copa America final twice, but you could just see the signs were not there. The balance of the team was not there. Now, it's all roses. For me, I think they're clear favorites for Copa America. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, people. Are Argentina the clear favorites to go Copa America, Finalissima, World Cup, and Copa America all in 2 years and get 4 trophies? It could be happening. It very well could be happening. Chile and Peru obviously playing big rivals. I would be worried if I'm Peruvian because tactically there is nothing to go with attacking-wise. It's either Paulo Guerrero or nada. And the man is 39 years old. 39-year-old Paulo Guerrero, who's trying to do his best. What other tactical idea do they have for Reynoso? Reynoso is a dead man walking. He's a dead man walking because these performances, okay, look, Peru have played Chile away, Argentina, Brazil, but it's got to be a whole lot better from them. They got lucky against Paraguay away. Was it the first match day? It's not good enough. For Chile, they are looking a little bit better, but I do kind of fear for Berizzo, the manager. Yes, this is an aging team. They're bringing them new blood, as we see. I just don't feel like this team is good enough to qualify for World Cup, but lucky enough for them, if they just get the 7th spot, they will make it to the playoff. And they get the win here thanks to Valdez and Nunes, and they did create better chances in the game, and they definitely were the team who wanted to win it compared to Peru. So I think overall, it's a deserved result for Chile, and for Peru, they gotta really improve. I mean, really, they have to improve big time. Now, the biggest shock of the window, it is Brazil 1, Venezuela 1. Vinotinto. Get your wines up, people. Vinotinto might be for real. Are we a little bit worried with Brazil? In a sense where I don't think any team now fears them. Generally, I don't think any team, whether it's Guinea, whether it's Venezuela, Bolivia, they get smacked when they're at sea level. But I don't think this Brazilian team, they have that fear factor. Back in the day, when you saw that lineup and you were going toe-to-toe against them, you thought to yourself, nah, I don't want this battle. Now, Richarlison? Come on. This Brazilian team, look, Diniz is in a tough situation for himself. He's got to focus on a Copa Libertadores final in 2 weeks' time. Then he's not even going to have the full-time job. So he's thinking to himself, okay, I don't need to give my all with tactically and everything like that. But it just seems like this team, they have pieces, but I don't see the fluidity. I don't. And it just seems like everything kind of revolves around Neymar, who we'll discuss about later as well. And if he's not the creator, I'm worried for Brazil. I'm telling you, the mere fact that the fullbacks are not good enough and is such a prototypical Brazilian team, when you think of the best, is the fullbacks are amazing. Now they are garbage. They're not good enough whatsoever. That needs to improve. And I just don't think they have that fear factor in them anymore. But take nothing away from Venezuela. The golazo from Bello. Did you guys? The goal. Oh, beautiful. You could just see how. I think it's the second time in history that Venezuela get points away in Brazil. Second time. And they do that. And if you just say, oh my God, they had that one chance and that's it. From watching the highlights in the first half, they created chances. I'm telling you, Venezuela just thought to themselves, okay, we played decent. We got a win over Paraguay. We got some confidence. Let's go to Brazil and get a point. And they did that. So shout out to any Venezuelan watching. This is an amazing result for them. And now they're going to be thinking to themselves, hey, we got a chance in these qualifiers. Because what did they do on match day 4, people? Match day 4, Venezuela said, we're going to give you a 3-piece, Chile. We're going to give you a 3-piece, Chile. This guy's Soteldo. You probably saw him maybe a week or 2 weeks ago. He was the guy who was standing on the ball. Looked like the same like the Tottenham Hotspur's crest. This guy's a baller. For the size he is, dribbling is amazing. It's just such a low sense of gravity that it just always helps when dribbling out of tight spaces. He was creating. He got the goal. Beautiful goal. Chile, twice, before that goal went in, they gave opportunities to Venezuela because they played it out of the back. And Venezuela, they pressed well, and exactly that's what happened. They gave up the ball. Soteldo gets it. Boom. 1-0 Venezuela. Then it gets to 2-0. Obviously, Chile got the red card during the game. Stupid second yellow. Oh, why are you making that challenge on a yellow card is beyond me. And then Soteldo across to Rondon. And Solomon Rondon, man. If we could see this guy play at a World Cup, that would be some story. And then Darwin Messiiiii getting the third goal. I think it was Soteldo again who crossed the far post. And Messiiiii was free as a bird. And it's 3-0. Overall, did Chile play the worst? I wouldn't say they played the worst. They did create chances, but this is the thing in World Cup qualifiers, especially away in South America. You got to take your opportunities, and if you don't, even Venezuela will take advantage of it. And you, let me know in the comments, people. Are Venezuela going to be debutants at the next World Cup. Is it going to happen? They are the only nation in South America, because Bolivia have qualified for World Cup, that haven't qualified for a World Cup. Is that going to change? It's early days. It's only been 4 match days, but they played who? They played Argentina, Paraguay, Chile. So I think for Venezuela, they're going to have confidence. Why should they fear anybody? Why should they fear? I don't think they should fear. Guys, everybody, round of applause. Paraguay have scored a goal. Paraguay have scored a goal. To be honest, they scored 2 goals before this goal, but they were both, I think, ruled offside on both occasions. They created all the opportunities. Just judging by the highlights, Bolivia created 1 opportunity. Other than that, it was all Paraguay. And it's just like, you need that first goal. And they must have been so frustrated. They got the ball in the back of the net twice before they got the golazo. And then Sanabria gets the goal. And maybe this will help this team. Because I think this team, they were just such in a mental state that we cannot get that goal. We cannot get that goal. And now they got it. And boom, they got the win over Bolivia. Much needed. We know Bolivia, guys. Away from home, they're going to do nothing. They're going to do nothing. If they want to have any, and I mean any chance of qualifying, they would have to win at least 7-8 home games. So it's the same old for Bolivia. But congrats to Paraguay. They have finally scored, and they have finally won a game. Ecuador, Colombia. Not the most enthralling, judging by the highlights. Ramirez saving the penalty. By the way, this Moises Ramirez guy in goal. What's the best way to characterize this guy? A volleyball player? I don't think he understands the idea or the concept of grabbing the ball like this. He just has to punch it every single time like it's like one of those boxing machines that you go full power. That's what Ramirez does. But he saves the penalty on Luis Diaz. He made another big save. I'm kind of worried for Ecuador. I told you people, like, Felix Sanchez is not a good manager. He's not. And Ener Valencia, he is arguably the best striker of all time for Ecuador. Maybe one of the best, of course. There needs to be a change. There needs to be a change. Because the guy, I read a stat, he hasn't scored in Quito in World Cup qualifiers since 2017. 6 years. It's taken Ener to score a goal in Quito. Nah. You have to think to yourself, if you're Felix Sanchez, you got to make a change. No, obviously, Ener Valencia is not going to play throughout the qualifiers. But maybe it's time. Okay, bench him 1 game. Give another guy another chance. And they're missing, obviously, like Gonzalo Plata and these sort of guys. Estupiñán was a big miss. So I think Ecuador really got to improve performances. You don't need to play well to qualify for the World Cup this time around in Conmebol. You don't. For Colombia, I do like now that they're a bit defensively. They look strong, and the pressing looked very good against Ecuador. It's just that they don't have like a Falcao. They don't have a gunman. It's either Diaz or Rodriguez or nada. Maybe give Duran a try. That could be an optimistic idea. So look, Colombia and Ecuador, they will qualify for the World Cup. They will be like 4th, 5th. But it's just now about growing as a side. What's your best 11? Go with those guys. Boom. And we'll see what happens. But not the most enthralling game. But Uruguay and Brazil. An absolute masterclass. You know when they do the masterclass YouTube videos? This is a masterclass from Marcelo Bielsa. He absolutely nullified Brazil. Other than Rodrigo's free kick, Brazil created nada. Nothing. And we always think of Bielsa ball as this high-octane, gun-ho approach. You score, I score. You score, I score. Just shows you, Bielsa just understands international football. He was obviously the former Argentina, I think Chile manager as well. This guy just knows international football. Whereas Denise is trying to learn it. And it just showed the manager quality was evident in this game. Araujo, beast of a performance. My boy Darwin Núñez, getting a golazo, getting a beautiful assist to De La Cruz. if you people follow South American football, we know De La Cruz is a baller. The guy from River Plate. It's a shame that he's never played in Europe because he's just everything you kind of want in a midfielder, sort of an 8/10 midfielder. I think De La Cruz is a baller. And this is Uruguay's first win against Brazil, I think in 20 years or something like that. So big victory. And it just shows you, if you believe in Bielsa ball, it will take you places. And right now we are seeing that with this result. Big win for Uruguay. There's going to be questions about Brazil. And Neymar got injured. Oh, it doesn't look good, people. It looks like he got an ACL tear. Such a shame, man. Such a shame. Just like, especially ahead of a Copa America in 8 months. I don't think he's going to be ready. You get that ACL tear. Hopefully it's not, but it didn't look good at all. Sad, man. But I want to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. What's the biggest problem with Brazil right now? What is the major issue? Is it just the lack of attackers? Vini not really stepping up for the national team? Or is it just that, you know what? They're just not good. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Peru and Argentina. There's only 2 things to say, people. Or actually 1 thing to say. Messi. 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 Goat things. Goat things, people. You have to just admire it while it's here. Admire the greatness while it's here, people. Because soon it will be gone. This guy's unbelievable. Did you see what he did to those 2 Peruvian players? They were in Lima. He sent those 2 players to Machu Picchu. Gets the 2 golazos. Great from Enzo Fernandez. The first goal he scored. How he even got that sort of power and put it into the roof of the net. It's just brilliance, man. What do you want me to say? Huh? GOAT. Boom. Done. Gets 2 goals. Peru. Yeah, Reynoso needs to go. Reynoso needs to go. I know it's been a tough schedule for Peru, but they don't look good at all. I mean, at all. So there needs to be a major change in the managerial department for Peru. But Argentina, like I said it before earlier when we were discussing about Paraguay, this team just know how to just control games, get the best out of the players, and the midfield is just so fluid. The passing, the movement, everything about it, it's just, they're enjoying it. That's the best thing you can say about this Argentina team. There's just so much enjoyment that they get for playing for the national team. It's a beautiful sight to see. And Argentina, they still haven't conceded. They still have not conceded in Conmebol World Cup qualifiers. So let's quickly look at the standings, people, before heading out. Argentina are top with 12 points, 7 goals scored, 0 conceded. Uruguay now jumped to second with a +3 goal difference on 7 points. Brazil on 7 points. Venezuela are on 7 points as well. Shout out to Vinotinto. And then Colombia on 6, Ecuador on 4, Paraguay are also on 4, and then Chile on 4, and then Peru and Bolivia. Peru still haven't scored a goal. It's been 4 games. A better change, because Peru, they got Venezuela at home in November. If they can't score against Venezuela, I fear for Peru. I fear for Peru. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, people, of Conmebol World Cup qualifiers October edition. Let me know your thoughts. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Have a beautiful day. Stay safe in this crazy world. And until next time, adios.
Explain something.